Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss A Prayer for My Daughter by W.B. Yeats, that is William Butler Yeats, a prominent Irish literary figure who composed several poems and was also a prominent, we can say, political figure there as well. And apart from this, he was a Nobel laureate and he wrote a preface to Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali as well, and was a co-translator of 10 Upanishads as well. So lots of achievement to his credit. And here in this poem he is praying for his daughter. So almost in all all the poems by in all the poems by W.B. Yeats, we see an impact of his failed love affair with Maud Gonne, and here too that impact can be seen. The situation in Ireland was not at all good. A turmoil was going on, bloodshed was happening there, consequent upon the Easter Rebellion of 1916, and apart from that, Irish Civil War was going on, and already the First World War was happening. So in such situation, which was full of chaos and disorder, his mind was full of apprehensions. He was quite fearful and skeptic about the future years, that what would happen to his daughter. He was quite concerned about the safety of his daughter, that what kind of life she would have in future. So this poem actually expresses all that concern of W.B. Yeats and his wishes for his daughter, that what he actually wants his daughter to be, because his failed love affair had taught him so many things. He didn't want his daughter to be extremely beautiful. He didn't want his daughter to be a possessor of bewitching beauty. Rather, he wanted his daughter to be learned in the qualities of head and heart, which are more important than just external appearance. That's what he is wishing for his daughter. And the poem is written in lyric form. There are 10 stanzas of 8 lines each. Moreover, the rhyme actually alternates between iambic and trochaic. So iambic pentameter, trochaic pentameter, that is the meter used here in this poem. And in iambic pentameter, it is we follow a pattern of weak and strong stress. So in that way, and in trochaic it is just the opposite. We follow a pattern of strong and weak stress. So that is stressed and unstressed level, that way it is followed. So I'll give you an example of iambic pentameter. Let's see here the curfew, a perfect example of iambic pentameter. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. So penta, that is 5 foot, okay, and 5 foot means 10 syllables. So you can see this is weak, this is strong, this is weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. So now if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So as I said, pentameter, that is 5 foot and total 10 syllables. And the pattern is weak and strong. So how it is? The curve. So the is unstressed and cur is stressed. The cur. It should be the curfew. The curfew. The curfew. So few again weak, then tolls. is again stressed, and then again the unstressed, then nil again stressed. So a pattern of weak and strong syllable is going on here. Similarly, here in this poem, one is iambic pentameter and other is trochaic pentameter, and in trochaic the opposite of this happens. Here it is weak and strong. In trochaic we follow the pattern of strong and weak. So here I'll read out the line and will tell you the second line of this poem, that is under this cradle hood and coverlet. So here in this line it is trochaic meter, that is strong and weak pattern is being followed. So the whole poem actually alternates between iambic and trochaic pentameter. So let's see how he has conveyed his feelings for his daughter here in this poem. Okay, apart from all these things, I would like to add some more things about this poem, that he actually loved Morgan, who was a prominent political figure in Ireland, and he actually was rejected in that love affair. It was only, we can say, one-sided affair, and later on she married a person named McBride. So he was quite disappointed because of that failure, and also due to the turmoil going on in Ireland. So that is going on in his mind. He is all gloomy, in a despondent mood, and later on, quite later in his life, he married a lady named Georgie Hyde Lees. So here in Ireland it was bloodshed, it was Easter Rebellion, that Irish Civil War was also going on, the First World War was also going on, and later on in his life, as I said, he married Georgie Hyde Lees, and that was in 1917, and then they had a daughter, Annie, that was in 1919. So after his marriage, he purchased a tower, that was Thur Balili Tower, to have a peaceful life and a comfortable life there with his wife. So after his marriage, he realized that actually important is not the external beauty. What is more important is say the internal qualities, like the qualities of head and heart. They are more important. So that's what he came to know after marrying Georgie Hyde Lees, and he had a very happy, a very good married life with her, who was not actually very pretty or very beautiful in her appearance, but the wedded life was very good. So that's how he realized that it's not all external appearance or the beauty, physical beauty alone. The qualities of head and heart are what matter most, and that is what he is praying for his daughter in this poem. So let's see how he has conveyed all those things, how he has expressed the emotions, his feelings and his concerns for his daughter here, and it conveys something, a message, a universal message as well, a message to all the people of this world as well, that what we should approve of is the internal, the qualities of one's character, not just external beauty. So that is a message here as well in this poem. Now let's see, the poem contains lots of literary devices. There are metaphors, imageries, personification, all such things have been used here in this poem. Alliteration is there. So a very beautiful and perfect combination of all the things. Now let me start here. Once more the storm is howling, and half hid under this cradle hood and coverlet my child sleeps on. So what he is saying, once more the storm is howling. Now here the storm is not just the wind blowing outside, some strong wind or gale. It's not about some wind or some gale. It is just what that turbulent situation, that upheaval which was going on in the country. He is talking of that. So once more the storm is howling, once more the situation is very chaotic, once more it is full of upheaval and turbulence. That's what he is saying. And his daughter is half fed, that is not fully protected there, not fully safe there, because he is apprehensive about the future years, that what will happen, though he is there at that time to protect her, but the future seems not very safe. So that's why, and my child sleeps on. So what he is trying to say, that the child is all unaware, the baby Annie, the child is all unaware about the situation, and she is like all innocent and unaware of the prevailing situation. She comfortably sleeps there, but the poet is skeptic and apprehensive about the future, that ensuing future, that forthcoming future. There is no obstacle but Gregory's wood, and one bare hill whereby the haystack and roof levelling wind, bred on the Atlantic, can be stayed. So what he means here, if you know, or if you have read a bit about W.B. Yeats, so you might know that Lady Gregory supported Yeats in every way. She was her patron, she supported him financially and in other ways as well. So what he is saying is that the situation which was prevailing there, that chaotic situation, so in that situation only Lady Gregory is there to protect him, or to stand by him, to support him. She is only there. So the wind is like, it is haystack and roof leveling wind, that is, it's the situation is quite destructive. Now literally it can level even haystacks, it can level even roof, that is, it can destroy anything and everything there. But as Lady Gregory is there, so he has some solace in that, okay, somebody is there to protect him and to support him. That's what he is saying. So the haystack and roof leveling wind bred on the Atlantic, that is actually originated from the Atlantic. That means that's coming from that direction, or that wind that is all rife and prevailing there, the destructive situation that is prevailing there. So in that destructive situation only Lady Gregory is there. Her house actually was in between his and that situation, in that situation to before him, as he is presenting in a literal and physical manner, that her house is there before mine to protect me. So this is what he is saying, that Lady Gregory is there to support and protect him in that situation. And for an hour, now you can in this way, as I have given you an example here, you can see the metrical pattern in all the lines, that how it alternates. As I stated, one iambic, another trochaic. So how it alternates, you can see and you can check. So he's saying, and for an hour I have walked and prayed because of the great gloom that is in my mind. So what he is trying to say, that for an hour he's been walking and passing here and there, up and down, just ambling about and praying for his daughter, because his mind is all full of gloom and gloomy thoughts. He is despondent because of the prevailing situations there. And he says, I've walked and prayed for this young child an hour. So this young child is none else but his daughter. And here too I should say what in this stanza as well the poet is using imagery. In this stanza as well, the poet is using imagery, as in the former one, as I should say the storm is howling. The storm is exactly not the storm. It is an imagery used here to present the chaotic situation in Ireland. Same way in this stanza as well as in this next line, you can see what sea winds scream and all that. So this is an example of I should say imagery, that how sea wind is screaming. Now sea wind cannot scream, so we can say that it's a personification as well. So let's take it one by one. That I have walked and prayed for this young child an hour, and heard the sea wind scream upon the tar. That is, he has been praying for long, for an hour, and that sea wind is screaming upon the tar. That means as if the turbulence, as if that anarchic situation has approached him or his place as well, and like it is he is about to be captured or surrounded by all those things, and he's saying, and under the arches of the bridge, and scream in the Ems above the flooded stream. So what? So this situation, it has approached his tower. So tower is what? Tur Balili tower. Tur Balili tower that I said he purchased after his marriage to have a peaceful and comfortable life with his wife Georgie Hyde Lees. That was in 1917, and in 1919 he had his daughter. So the storm has approached the tower, that is, the storm has approached his house, his place, and not just there under the arches of the bridge and scream in the Ems, now above the flooded stream. So what Ems here? Ems are the people opposing and protesting. So the situation is now slowly spreading itself all over, and those who are like protesting, Ems are like those people, common people who are protesting. So like it is around them and above them, this the situation has reached or say taken all into its possession. So it's how it is increasing, and what? Imagining an excited reverie that the future years had come, dancing to a frenzied drum. So now what he is thinking, what? Imagining in excited reverie. Reverie is daydream. So he is thinking, he is imagining in quite an excitement that he is all agitated, the mind is all in an agitated state. So that's what he is trying to say. So he is imagining, he is thinking that the future is not going to be very good. The future years have come, dancing on a frenzied drum. Now frenzied is what? All excited, all agitated. So the future years are going to be full of agitation, full of upheaval. That is what he foresees about future. And that's why he's saying that dancing on a frenzied drum. So the situation is all going to be full of frenzy, full of total excitement and such. So out of the murderous innocence of the sea. Now what does this mean? Murderous innocence of the sea. So here I can say this is an example of oxymoron. Now Oxymoron. What is oxymoron? So oxymoron, if I explain, in oxymoron two contradictory words are put together and they suggest some socially or generally accepted truth. That is called oxymoron. So when I say murderous innocence, now it may seem quite odd. When I say murderous innocence, so how can innocence be murderous, and if it is murderous, how can it be innocent, and if it is innocent, how it can be murderous? So that's how I said it. It may seem a bit odd and awkward, but it is a truth. Just as if I say sweet pain. Now sweet pain, if it is sweet, how can it be a pain? And if it is pain, how can it be sweet? Similarly, I can say open secret. Now if it is open, how can it be secret? And if it is secret, how can it be open? So oxymoron means having two such contradictory terms in the form of a pair, and they must suggest something true, something that is socially accepted, something taken by the society as a truth. So that is oxymoron. So here the poet has used murderous. So what these future years had come dancing to a frenzied drum out of the murderous innocence of the sea. So how that means, it seemed all innocent, or the sea is, it seems all innocent, but just as what there might be storms, there might be high tide, and sea may engulf even the biggest of ships. So it is possible. So similarly, what the situation has got all anarchic, all chaotic, and bloodshed started, war started. So this has come all in how it was through innocence, like it seemed all calm and quiet, and then it got quite murderous and terrible. So that's why murderous innocence. Just as we say a lull before the storm. So it was all lulled before the storm, and then came all of a sudden a storm. So here, that's what the poet is trying to say. Out of the murderous innocence of the sea, the future years are not going to be good, it seems. He is so skeptic about the future. Now, may she be granted. Now, here comes the prayer, what he is praying for his daughter, and it's quite beautiful here from this line onwards. It's very beautiful that how he is wishing and praying for his daughter. Let's see. May she be granted beauty, and yet not beauty to make a stranger's eye distraught. So what? May she be granted beauty. Okay, that she should be beautiful, but I don't want her to be given that much beauty. I don't want her to be that much beautiful that her beauty could distract the strangers, that people would just be enamored by her beauty, or just like fascinated by her beauty. So I want, fascinated is okay, but he doesn't want anybody to be distracted by that beauty. So that is the main point here. So he says, okay, that she should be given beauty, but not that much that people would be distracted. I don't, or deviated. I don't want that kind of beauty, because what happened to him, he knows that very well, that he was distracted from the proper and right course of his life, and just was fell in the trap of Mordgon's beauty. So here, that's why he is praying this for his daughter. So, or hers before a looking glass, for such being made beautiful overmuch. Consider beauty a sufficient end. So what he says that he doesn't want her to be very much beautiful, extremely beautiful. Otherwise, that strangers may be distracted because of her beauty, and he doesn't want that kind of beauty that she herself, when she looks at her in the mirror, that she herself get distracted by her beauty, thinking that how beautiful she is, and leaving everything, she just is lost in her beauty, and she thinks of her beauty to be the sufficient end. That means she makes her beauty her goal, her destiny, her destination. So he doesn't want her daughter to find just beauty to be her destination, beauty to be her goal of life, her aim of life. It should not be so. That she should not be made that much beautiful that she takes beauty to be the goal of her life, beauty to be the destination of her life. No, I don't want that kind of beauty for my daughter. Because if so happens, he's saying, because if so happens, then what? Then the result will not be very good. He's saying, lose natural kindness and maybe the heart revealing intimacy that chooses right and never find a friend. Because if so happens, if she is made that much beautiful that she takes beauty as the goal and destination of her life, so in that case, what, she would not be able to find a good friend, because then she would lose the qualities of head and heart. That is, she would lose the qualities of kindness and heart revealing intimacy, that she would not be able to find a good friend, she could not be intimate, she could not be close to anybody. And because these qualities, the qualities of kindness, the qualities of heart revealing intimacy, that you can share your feelings with others, you can share your emotions with others, so such qualities actually help you find good friends. And if she is made extremely beautiful, then she would take beauty to be the goal of her life, and she would lose the qualities of kindness and the qualities of heart revealing intimacy. And that is the reason he doesn't want her to be that much beautiful, because in that case she won't have any good friend to her to reveal or to share her feelings. So, and now he is citing some examples, saying Helen, being chosen, found life flat and dull, and later had much trouble from a fool. So Helen, you might have heard Helen of Troy, and it is said that she became the reason, she became the cause of Troy's destruction. So the poet here says, and it was all because of the foolishness of Paris, the prince of Troy. So what, I don't want that kind of beauty, because Helen was extremely beautiful, and because of her beauty, like Paris, when they went to Agamemnon, and Paris actually was enamored by her beauty, he was quite fascinated by that beauty, and when they returned after the conciliatory talks, Paris just took her along with him, and that resulted in a great war, the Trojan War. And after that, and as a result of that, the whole Troy was burned to cinders, burned to ashes. That's how or say that's how Helen became the cause of Troy's destruction. So it is said. And she was having a good life with Menelaus, though she was not satisfied with that married life. But what happened to her after eloping with Paris was worst, or say was not at all very good, because she had to like run from pillar to post after that we can say after that escape with Paris, because Troy was destroyed, and then she had to run here and there to save her life with Paris. So the poet is trying to say, just as Helen became the cause of Troy's destruction, so I don't want my daughter to be like that. Helen was dissatisfied with her marriage. She chose Paris. She eloped with Paris and later had more trouble. Similarly, he gives an example of Aphrodite, Venus, I should say, while that great queen that rose out of the spray, being fatherless, could have her way. So here, who is this queen? This is Queen Aphrodite, Queen Venus, and it is said and supposed that she was born out of the sea spray, the sea foam, and so she was fatherless. And as she was fatherless, she was lawless as well. She was a free-willed woman, and she could have her way the way she liked. And though she was married to Hephaestus, the bandy-legged ironsmith of gods, an ugly-looking ironsmith of gods, and she was not at all happy with that marriage, and she made love with Ares, and later on was put to shame for her faithlessness. So the poet says that what is the use of such beauty? So I don't want that kind of beauty. And he says further, we can say, reaffirms or stresses his belief and statement here, saying, so that while that great queen that rose out of the spray, being fatherless, could have her way, as there was nobody to direct and control and instruct her, she could have her way. That is, she could be a free-willed lady, she could be a lawless lady, and that happened. Yet chose a bandy-legged smith for man. So it's certain. So who was that bandy-legged man? As he said, here what happened, that she was married to Hephaestus, and later on Hephaestus, who was an ugly-looking ironsmith of gods, so she was not happy. She made love with Ares, and then her life, even after that, she couldn't have a good life because she was put to shame for her faithlessness. So the poet says it's certain that fine women eat a crazy salad with their meat, whereby the horn of plenty is undone. So what he is trying to say is that such beautiful women like Helen, like this Venus, Aphrodite, so such beautiful women, though they were extremely beautiful, but their decisions were not at all very good, and they had crazy salad. So here her choosing Paris, Helen's choosing Paris as her husband, or here also in the case of Aphrodite choosing Ares, so that was not at all good, and that's what here stated as crazy salad. So fine women choose crazy salad, they eat crazy salad with their meal. So this is what happens with beautiful women. They make silly decisions, they make foolish decisions, and then because of their own decisions they have trouble in their lives. So I don't want my daughter to be that beautiful that she just lose all other qualities and have just beauty and make beauty to be the goal of her life. And he says, in courtesy I'd have her chiefly learned. Hearts are not had as gifts, but hearts are earned. So what he is saying, in courtesy I would have her chiefly learned. That is, I want my daughter to be quite courteous. I want my daughter to learn and excel in the qualities like courtesy. That is, she should be having good manners. She should be having courtesy, she should be courteous. I want that, because hearts are not had as a gift. Nobody would give one's heart out to you. Nobody would say love you or respect you without any reason, without any cause. So hearts are not had as gifts. You cannot win the hearts of people without any reason, without doing anything. So hearts are actually earned. It means your good deeds, your good behavior, your good manners, they actually make people to love you, they make people respect you. So you cannot have the love of people just for free. Nobody would do that except your parents, and even they, I say, don't do. So it's better you learn the qualities of head and heart, like courtesy, good manners, good behavior, and that can result in winning the hearts of people. That's what he'd say here. But those that are not entirely beautiful, so those people actually win the hearts. Such people win the hearts who are not entirely beautiful. They may not be entirely beautiful, they may not be extremely beautiful, but yes, they are beautiful from within, they are beautiful within their heart. So such beauty he wishes for his daughter. Yet many, saying, yet many that have played the fool, for beauty's very self has charm made wise. So there are people who wasted their life and time running after beautiful girls, beautiful women, chasing them, trying to woo them, but had been of no use. Just as Yeats himself, he spoiled a great part of his life. W.B. Yeats actually, he spoiled a great part of his life trying to woo Maud Gonne, to win her heart, to have her heart, but that proved to be a wild goose chase. Resulted in nothing, it was all vain. So he is saying there are people who played fool like him, and finally what happened? Charm made wise. Means they got wiser when they realized the qualities of head and heart. Just as I said, happened with Yeats. He was after Maud Gonne, but later marrying Georgie Hidley's, he realized actually it's not just it's not the external beauty that one should be after, it's the internal beauty, it's the beauty of character that one should seek for, and that only can give you a happy life, as he had a happy life after marrying Georgie. So yet many that have played the fool, for beauty's very self, who just went after beauty, has charm made wise. They got wiser when they had charm, the qualities of head and heart, good character and all. And many a poor man that has that has wrought, that is wandered and sauntered and just moved about here and there, loved and thought himself loved, from a glad kindness cannot take his eyes. So there are people who roamed a lot, who wandered a lot, like seen the world, and loved lots of women, were after lots of say ladies and women, and thought yes, they were receiving that love from them as well. They thought so, maybe just an illusion, but they thought that yes, they too were being loved by them, that their love is being returned. And what happened? Even such people cannot take their eyes from what? Glad kindness. That is, they might be after beauties, they might be after beautiful ladies or women, but when they meet a lady with the qualities of head and heart, that is full of kindness, compassion, and the other qualities of character, so even such people who were after only beauty and beautiful ladies, even such people cannot take their eyes from that type of beauty. It means the real beauty is not external, the real beauty lies within one's heart. So that's what he is trying to prove here, that how his love affair was a failed love affair because he just sought after that physical beauty of Maud Gonne, and he could realize that thing only when he found Georgie and married her, that is the real beauty, and he could not say take his eyes from her, as that was more fascinating than just that external beauty of Maud Gonne. So that is the case with anybody and everybody. That's what he is trying to explain. And may she become a flourishing hidden tree, that all her thoughts may like the linnet be. So what he is trying to say, just as in a forest, in a jungle, there are lots of trees, and it's not like any tree is at once noticed or at once say visible, it's hidden. So what he is trying to say, may she become a flourishing hidden tree, just a common tree hidden among the other trees of the forest. So I would like my daughter to be just that flourishing hidden tree, that is just a common person. I don't want her to be quite an outstanding personality in beauty. I don't want her like that she should just outstand from the others, that okay, when she stands along with the others, her beauty should outstand. So I don't wish so, that she should have some outstanding beauty, that she could be notified apart from the others, she could stand out the crowd. So I don't wish that. I just want that she should be just a common person, just a tree hidden among the other trees, hidden in the forest, who is not the tree that is not at once noticed. Just like a linnet, which is a singing bird, and it remains hidden among the leaves and branches of the trees, and only the presence is felt and can be noticed only through its song, that okay, linnet is there. So he wants his daughter to be just like a linnet, who doesn't outstand because of her beauty, who doesn't say stand out because of her beauty, external beauty, rather because of her qualities of head and heart, rather because of her good deeds and good behavior, good character. So that is what he prays for his daughter. So like the linnet, and have no business but dispensing round the magnanimities of sound. So just as linnet goes on singing and spreading that music, that song all around, similarly he would like his daughter to spread the beauty of sound, that is, spread the beauty of her good deeds, spread the beauty of her good character, that she may not can be told apart or notified apart just because of her physical appearance, but yes, she should stand apart because of her good character. So, nor but in merriment begin a chase, nor but in merriment a quarrel. That is, he doesn't want his daughter to be a frolicsome or frivolous girl who could do anything just out of merriment or without any, say, just in merriment, just for we can say fun, just for fun, just quarreling with somebody, just for fun, chasing or say tenaciously following something. So I don't want my daughter to be such. Rather, I would like my daughter to be what having a good sincere character, not quarreling with anybody for fun and such. I don't want her to be like that. Now he says, oh may she live like some green laurel, rooted in one dear perpetual place. So why this comparison with laurel tree? So laurel tree, I should say, just as laurel tree has great significance. You might know that in the olden times, when one would have some achievement in some literary field or sports or such, so he would be say crowned with that say laurel leaves and flowers. A crown of laurel leaves and flowers would be given to such a person, and or he or she would wear that crown of laurel leaves and flowers. So here the poet says that I want my daughter to be like a laurel tree rooted in one perpetual place, and that is, he wants his daughter to have a strong and steadfast growth in life, that she could also be reciprocated, so that she could also be reciprocated for the deeds that she does, the love that she offers to others, that she could also have all that back. So that kind of strong, steadfast life he wishes for his daughter. And then he says, my mind, because the minds that I have loved, the sort of beauty that I have approved, prosper but little, has dried up of late. So what he is actually trying to say, my mind has dried up of late. Now why? What does this mean? My mind has dried up of late. That now my mind has dried of all such feelings of love. My mind has dried of all such feelings of all such emotions of love, all that, because he failed. He failed in his love affair, and that's why he's saying so, that my mind has dried up. Now it doesn't have such passionate feelings of love and all that. And he says, why this happened? Because the minds that I have loved, the sort of beauty that I have approved. He's talking of Morgane, that he loved Morgane, and he's saying the minds that I have loved, the beauty, the sort of beauty that I have approved, prosper but little. It means such mind and such beauty, such love, that never prosper, because it was totally on physical beauty, it was only based on physical attraction. So he is saying such love never prosper, such beauty never prosper. That's why it happened to him, and that's why his mind is now dried of all such feelings of love, all such passions. He is now dried of all that and drained of all that, I can also say, yet knows that to be choked with hate may well be of all evil chances chief. So though he failed in his love affair, he was rejected, he was discarded, he could not have what he wanted, but still he says that to fill one's heart with hatred is not at all good. Though, okay, he accepts that he failed, still he says to fill your heart with hatred is not at all good, because hatred gives birth to all evil, because then the chances of what evil and ill grow stronger. So he says that no, you may not have love for others, you may not find that love you want, but you should not fill your heart with hatred, you should not fill your heart with ill will, because that will only result in something bad, something poor, something worse. So hatred is not the solution, and hatred should not be pursued, he says. So if there is no hatred in mind, assault and battery of the wind can never tear the linnet from the leaf. So if you don't have hatred in your mind, if you are not prejudiced, in that case, whatever be the situation, assault and battery of the wind, that is the attack of the wind, the ravages of time, whatever be the situation, whatever be happening around, you won't be affected. Just as even a strong wind cannot affect the linnet hiding in the tree, similarly, if you don't have hatred in your mind, you won't be affected by the things going around you. You will be all safe, you will be all protected. So how can his daughter be safe and protected and have a good life? That's what he is telling, the way of for all that. So an intellectual hatred is the worst. So let her think, opinions are accursed. So what he is trying to say, intellectual hatred, that is the hatred, say ideological hatred, ideological differences, that you follow a certain ideology and someone follows some other ideology, and so conflicts arising out of that. So he's saying like one following what Nazism, the other following communism or fascism, the other following something else. So he says that intellectual hatred is the worst. You should not have that hatred of because of ideology. Okay, ideological hatred or ideologies may separate you in your professions, but you should not have such ideological differences for an individual, because that can make you prejudiced about that person. So he is saying intellectual hatred, that is the hatred due to ideological differences, that is worse, that is really very bad. So let her think. So his daughter, he's saying, should understand this thing very well, that opinions are accursed. One should not be obsessed by the opinions of others, or one should not be affected by what people say, because people may have different opinions, and as we say, too many cooks spoil the broth. So if you have the opinions of thousands of people, you may have 1,000 opinions, and that may clutter your mind, that may confuse you and not let you take the right decision. So he's saying, let her think opinions are accursed. Have I not seen the loveliest woman born out of the mouth of plenty's horn? So he's talking of this horn actually was stated earlier as well. I perhaps didn't explain this. So what is plenty's horn? It is said to be a symbol of symbol of prosperity. It is the symbol of wealth, just as a horn of God placed among the stars. So horn of plenty is that horn, and that is the symbol of, as I said, opulence, affluence, wealth, richness, all that prosperity. So, have I not seen the loveliest woman born out of the mouth of plenty's horn? That he is talking of Maud Gonne, that she was a prosperous lady, she was quite a wealthy lady, she was quite a loveliest, that is very beautiful lady as well. But because other opinionated mind barter that horn and every good by quiet natures understood for an old bellows full of angry wind. So have I not seen that what happened to that woman, that all her good and all her prosperity, all her opulence was bartered away, that is exchanged all her good qualities, every good, that is all her good qualities, all her prosperity was exchanged for what? That all bellows full of angry wind. Now who is this person? He is MacBride, whom she married later. So just he is expressing his irritation, anger and frustration on his failure of achieving her. He's saying that what happened, that all her prosperity was bartered away, all her say good nature, good qualities were bartered away, exchanged for this man, one who just only like shouted about and just screamed about, just for this man, a bad choice, a very poor choice. So what, just because of the people whom she was surrounded by, so such people just filled her mind with say wrong notions for perhaps W.B. Yeats, and she, instead of choosing W.B. Yeats or accepting his love, she chose MacBride, and that he feels she didn't deserve, or say sorry, that he was not worth that beauty or that lady Maud Gonne. So he's saying that opinions are really a curse, so one should not be affected by the opinions of people. She was surrounded by several such people, and they just filled her mind with wrong notions about him. So this is bad, this cannot help anybody. So considering that all hatred driven hence, the soul recovers innocence. So understanding all these things, that if you are obsessed by the opinions of people, what happens? So he says, when all hatred driven hence, when all hatred is gone, you are free of such ill will, evil feelings. What happens? Your soul recovers innocence, that is, you are purified, you are purgated of such emotions and feelings, and learns at last that it is self-delighting, self-appeasing, self-affrighting. So when hatred is driven, when hatred is chased away, when hatred is all gone, when the soul is all purgated, when the soul is all purified, you learn that such a state is really quite delighting, full of delight, that such a state of innocence, what free of hatred and ill will, such a state is what? Appeasing, that is what? Satisfying, quite pleasing, and such a state is what? Without any fear, that what wards off all the fears and evils. So such a state is that, and that its own sweet will is heaven's will. So in such a state we have what? A divine, a godly feeling, because then it is like identifying oneself with God. So in such a case, what? One's own will is like heaven's will, that is God's will, that you are like identifying yourself with God, you are so pure and so innocent, like God himself, you are so purgated, as what you say, you have the divine feeling, and so in such a state she can, he says, she can, though every face should scowl and every windy quarter howl, or every bellows burst, be happy still. So what, in such a state, in such case, now whether the people around you, they scowl and frown and sneer and jeer and just disapprove of you, criticize you, do whatever, even in such a state, be happy still. You'll be happy. You won't be affected by such things, people commenting upon you, people criticizing, people pulling your leg, people doing any sort of thing to disturb your peace and that calm. People may do whatever they like, but you will still be happy if you have these qualities. And finally, in the last stanza, he's talking of culture and tradition. He says, and may her bridegroom bring her to a house where all is accustomed and ceremonious. So he wishes that she should be married to a person, she should be married in a family where tradition is followed, where ceremony is observed, where culture has a place. So I would like her to be married to such a person, to be married in such a family where all these things are observed and followed. For arrogance and hatred are the wares peddled in the thoroughfares. Because these things are commonly found everywhere in this world. What? Arrogance, proud, haughtiness, and hatred. So these things are very commonly found in this world and anywhere, thoroughfares and the common ways and paths of the world. This can be easily found. So I don't want my daughter to have all these things, to be arrogant, to be full of hatred for anybody, or to be married to such a person who is like this. No, I don't want all this. How but in custom and in ceremony are innocence and beauty born. Actually, beauty is there where there is innocence. Beauty is there where there is custom, where there is culture. All these qualities, innocence, beauty, are found where culture is observed, where ceremony is observed, and where people celebrate such things. So there we find real beauty, there we have innocence. Purity of heart. Ceremony is name for the rich horn and custom for the spreading laurel tree. So ceremony is the name for rich horn. Where there is ceremony, there comes richness, there comes prosperity, there comes there comes affluence. So ceremony is the name of rich horn. So if you observe ceremony, if you say our culture, and if you follow the ceremonial practices, so definitely you will have prosperity in your life as well. So I want my daughter to be married in such a family, and custom is the name for what? Spreading laurel tree. So just as a laurel tree is rooted in one such place and grows and spread its branches spread all around, so similarly custom is like that. It is rooted in one place and it goes on further and further and further and further, and it connects. It's like a connecting link between generations, between ages. So if we if we practice customs, if we follow traditions, so what we can keep the legacies going on for years and ages, and that actually should happen, and that is what he wants for his daughter. That is what he prays for his daughter, that she should be married in such a family where custom, because tradition, customs, they are quite important aspects of society and family. They sustain civilization. So I want my daughter to be like that, who can sustain the family values, who can sustain the culture, not destructive like Helen, not say free-willed or lawless like Aphrodite or Venus. I don't want my daughter to be like such beautiful ladies who had a disastrous life, or who proved to be a disaster for the society as well. So I don't want my daughter to prove a disaster to the society. Rather, she should be like a laurel tree who grows steadfastly and strongly and keep the culture and customs on, and even like spread them for the years and ages to come, and can have or contribute in having stability in the society, steadfastness in the society. So these are the qualities he wishes for his daughter, he prays for his daughter. So a very beautiful poem, though a long one, but yes, really a beautiful poem by W.B. Yeats, and I hope you might have understood this poem, and I'll come up with more such video lectures on different other poems and other things. So till then, keep watching, stay tuned, keep coming over to this channel again and again for updates and other things. You can subscribe this channel. So thank you very much for watching this video.